So this is one of the named trees that are scattered around the forest, and this one, the Shaden Tuft. Not quite clear why it's got that name, but it's certainly one of the older trees around the forest, and you can just get an idea of the size of its trunk, which indicates its age, which you could probably say is over 300 years, quite happily. It could be longer. So this shows very well what happens when the tree gets older and older. The bark, which is the skin of the tree, which protects it all its life, develops, and it becomes thicker and it becomes less acidic, and it supports lots and lots of life. You'll get lichen, you get mosses, you'll get insects, all growing and living inside the nooks and the crannies which are created by these old trees. It takes a long time. These things take hundreds of years to become mature. But you can see all the shapes and the sizes of this tree is different, and every tree is different. And because of its unique shape, it supports wildlife in different ways. And you get these sap runs coming down the trunk, which are very sweet parts of the sap coming from the centre of the tree. And hornets and the butterflies will be seen in the summer drinking it. Sometimes they get drunk on it.
What, they actually get drunk and stagger home?
Yeah, they can get too much of a good thing, and they finish up flying rather clumsily across the woods, somewhat worse off. It's a bit like bees having too much lime from sundew, but honeydew, sorry, it comes from the lime trees. Yeah, up under this swelling, there are some interesting marks on the bark of the tree, which gives the impression that something's been going there and scratching. You can see how the patina has changed from being the mossy surface to being this open, broken bark. Now, we don't quite know what's causing that, but it could be that bats may be coming in here and hunting for the insects that live inside these little hollows and crannies. But we want to try to find out more before we can confirm what is doing it. But we're finding this on all the big old ancient trees where you've got these overhangs. People often ask, why are these bulges appearing on the bark of the tree? And these are connected to the insects that live inside the tree. Little wasps get inside the tree and they will bore away to lay their eggs, but at the same time they also inject an enzyme, and that confuses the way the tree grows. So you finish up with these enormous bulges developing over the tree's life, which is where these wasps are living, and then they will come out of their eggs and they will fly off to continue their life cycle. It shows how important it is to have all these big old trees, and they do add to the value again of these trees by having more and more shapes and bulges.